Well, everybody, welcome to Tuned In with Jim Cummings. We've got producer Chris here. We've got Brendan. Are you out there, Brendan? Where is he? There he is.
He's waving,
Hey,
yeah.
Dando. And none other than the world-famous Rob Paulsen.
Hey, Jimmy.
I mean, are you kidding? We got 1/3 of the Animaniacs and Bill Farmer.
Hey,
Now,
it's
how
nice
much
to
would
be
you
back.
pay?
Okay.
Come on down.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
This
Thank
is
you.
so great.
Yes. Well, thanks for, you were just in the neighborhood.
I
Slid
did.
on down.
Yeah, and we
My
just
parole
happened
officer's right down the road, and I just stopped by on the way back to the
on the way
cell.
back, parole. and-
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Good guy.
I like him.
Thank you. Me too.
We've always gotten along. And well, welcome to our humble abode. Our
Thank you.
humble.
Well, thanks
We've
for
been
inviting
killer.
us.
testing
Yeah.
pods for a
Sherman
while
Oaks
now.
Studio. I didn't
Yeah.
know this thing was here. This is great.
Yeah. This is in the treehouse out behind my house.
Yeah.
So
Security's really
Yeah.
great because the keypad you got
That's
to
right.
push, you got
That's
to know
right.
numbers.
Security is
It's
excellent.
like-
If you're Bill
it's
Farmer, he's
tough.
going,
You know,
I-
that'll keep most people out.
there are only
including-
Yeah,
9
yeah.
numbers. How hard can it be?
Yeah.
yeah, we
More than 4.
keep you
yeah.
out by giving you the right combination. but yes. Well, welcome, guys.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being here.
Pleasure
Thanks
to
for
be
being
here, Jim.
We usually run into each other at Comic-Cons these days.
Yeah, we don't run into
more
each
than
other.
in the not
Yeah.
at the not at work. You know.
Yeah,
It's
not
like,
at work.
you know, oh, Jim was just in. Oh,
Yeah.
he's coming in an hour, and
Yeah.
you never
I-
see anybody anymore.
I like
Yep.
all you guys. We're old Hollywood dogs, man. I miss that
Yeah,
so,
so do I.
much.
Oh, me too.
I was driving into it today thinking, as we've spoken so many times about
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
unbelievably fortunate we are to not only be still working, but the people with
Mm-hmm.
whom we've worked who are still our best friends in the world.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tress,
Unlike any other
Frank,
business in the
you-
world. I
yeah,
think.
Peter.
Sure.
All these people, and they're, oh my God, how did they,
Yeah.
we're still here? And every time I go to a con, and I go, I know every one of those people. I've been to every one of those persons' homes.
Yeah.
Most of them have been to my home. I would want all these people at my funeral. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh,
We're that
yeah, that's-
close, and you
Yeah.
go, how did we all are, we stuck it out.
Well, I hope we're not at your funeral.
Not right away.
No.
Not right away.
Yeah, I owe too many people money.
But yeah, that's right. But yeah, it's so true. Well, I always have said it. You know, it's the stuff that used to get me kicked out of class.
Yeah.
And
Amen.
now-
That's what
and
you
now
do for
here
a
we
living
are.
now. Yeah.
Now I get to hang out with these guys.
Yeah,
and,
man. Sure beats working for a living.
And look, there's America
I know.
and the world.
Look at that.
Hello, world. And there, of course,
Hello.
there's Christopher.
Hello,
He's there
America.
too. Yeah. By the way, speaking of America, do you know of any other country? No, I'm not going to do
No,
that to him.
United
No, I'm not
States.
going to do that to him.
Now,
He
wait till I
knows-
have a couple of edibles from down the street. We're just talking United States. Yeah.
Is that
I'll make up a bunch of new countries.
Yes, yeah. Rob has this thing, and I will not embarrass him into doing it. The most astonishing thing is that I've seen you do it at conventions, and you
Yeah.
just stand up and do it.
Well, thank you, Jimmy.
Does
I-
anybody
I
know
have
what I'm
to-
talking
I
about
think-
here? I want to make
yeah.
sure everybody knows because it's pretty
well,
bodacious.
we're
Yeah.
talking
In the Animaniacs, your
Yes.
character names what?
Yakko.
Well, he's the
Yakko
well, yes,
Warner.
But-
the
but
countries
he-
of the world, right.
of
Okay,
the world.
right. But
All the countries?
Everyone.
I don't think I've heard that. I've heard states.
the one that goes
United.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too. And it goes on and on and on and on. But we're all good at our jobs. Fair enough. But man, we live in Hollywood. You can throw a dart and hit a good singer. I mean, Jimmy's a world-class
Oh, yes.
singer.
Well,
Absolutely.
Okay, what you can't do is throw a dart and hit somebody who writes that shit. And the backstory to that song is you know Randy Rogel, right?
Sure,
Okay.
very well.
Our buddy Randy Rogel, who wrote The States and the Capitals, Yakko's World, he wrote, "It's a great big universe and we're all really puny. We're just tiny little specks about the size of Mickey Rooney. You might think that you're essential, try inconsequential. It's a big universe and you're not." Okay, all that stuff. Here's the backstory, though. Randy, I'll make it brief, but Randy was writing on Batman, the animated series, as a young guy, and he heard across the hall that the people who did Tiny Toon Adventures, Tom Ruegger, Steven Spielberg, are now doing a show called Animaniacs. Clean sheet of paper, music heavy, full orchestra. Randy said, "Well, my background is musical comedy, and I write music." Knocked on the door to Tom Ruegger, Tom said, look, you just won an Emmy for writing Batman. You know, you do that, we're good. We're covered. Finally, Tom, the producer, said, creator, so I'll tell you what, Randy, you go home and you write a song in the context of Animaniacs and bring it in. And if we like it, you can write for us. That was his audition piece. He wrote that Countries of the World
Really? As an audition
on
piece?
spec. Brought it in and said, hey, what do you think about this, Tom? Ding, 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 United States Cat. And
Wow.
so that was the first song he wrote and the first song I recorded for
So he hit it
Animaniacs.
out of the park.
That bar from the beginning was up there.
Slam.
So I love telling that story because one of the smartest things I think all of us did, whether it was inadvertently or on purpose, was to surround ourselves with people who are so freaking talented that they became kind of frighteningly inspirational. You know, like Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
I remember working with Phil going,
Sure,
where does that come from? And it terrified me. But like all you guys, first time we'd meet each other and go, Jesus, where did that come from? Or Tress,
Oh, yeah.
you know, Nancy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Tress,
So
Nancy,
anyway, thank you
Tara,
for bringing that
gang.
up. That's a great story.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that you know them all.
Isn't that
I know.
something?
I can't with lead, sheet music. I mean, it goes away.
Well,
I couldn't remember.
I've done that a
Just-
lot. And we also take Animaniacs in concert around the country now.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do.
So we just
You
did
got to
our...
learn it.
In fact, we
Yeah.
should get a plug in here.
Oh,
And
thank you.
where will you be appearing next,
Well,
Rob?
actually,
Can you
just,
tell us?
We just finished. We did the last two shows. We're in Malibu at Pepperdine, and then last Saturday at UCSD. There's a beautiful amphitheater at the UC San Diego. So we're done now until the fall. So it's convention time. You know,
Okay,
luckily, we all are so fortunate to meet so many of you at these cons, which are springing up like zits on a 12-year-old, man. And I'm very happy.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it gets us out of the house.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, come see us and
Please.
get an autograph.
What does the Animaniacs life experience entail? What do you get when you go to these
Oh, thank you for
events?
asking. Well, what's great about it is we can scale the show to whether it's Randy Rogel, myself, and a piano. Most of the shows have Randy, me, and our mutual buddy Maurice the Brain LaMarche. And Randy has written specific proprietary songs and bits for Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, that's good.
And when we've got a deal with Warner Brothers by which we're able to use all the animation, and it's just a blast. But we also can scale it all the way up. We did it with the 88-piece Toronto Symphony 3 weeks ago.
Whoa.
2,600
Really?
people.
Oh my gosh.
And world-class symphony. That's all those. If you're the bassoon player in the Toronto Symphony, that's all you do.
Wow.
And it was Mo's birthday, and he's from Toronto, and it was spectacular.
That is so cool.
When you have that many professional players behind you, it's just mind-boggling. So we can do it in a club or a small theater. We did it at Pepperdine at the Smothers Theater, and Nancy Cartwright joined us.
Oh, wow.
Really?
So it's a blast. And we'd love to have
What
you
a
guys join
gas.
us too. Come on out someday and sing a song with the Animaniacs. We'll have a ball.
Sure. I think I sang a few.
Oh yeah, you were on the show.
A couple of them.
Totally.
Yeah. In and out. Yeah. I
But
was
thank
the
you for asking.
cleanup man.
It's and to the extent people are interested, and they can go to animaniacslive.com to check out dates which will be coming up later this year and into next year, or my website, which is robpaulsenvoice.com, and all those dates will be up there. It's great. It beats lifting stuff.
Wow. Very cool.
Thank you.
You've got your orders out there.
Thank you
world.
for asking. Yeah.
There you go. Good stuff, man.
We did this movie called Goofy Movie, right?
Turns out,
Yeah, I
come to
remember
find
that
out,
one.
you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Slightly, yeah.
Gorsh.
Yeah.
That's my impression of you.
Gosh, thanks.
So you're obviously very safe.
Yeah. They ain't no AI happening there.
Yeah.
That's a real goddamn deal.
But thank
Yeah.
God. Thank
Yeah,
God.
man.
You know, we're still doing this stuff,
Yeah.
you know.
All my intelligence is artificial. So it doesn't bother me a bit.
Well said.
I don't even have
doesn't-
that, so, you
Well,
know.
Jimmy's a drummer. Remember years ago when,
Oh, yeah.
when they started making drum machines
Yeah.
and emulators and
Yeah.
MIDIs and stuff? And we were both in rock and roll bands.
Yeah.
And I remember in the mid-'70s, traveling around the Midwest, doing rock and roll at, cover bands. And I saw so many bumper stickers that would say, drum machines have no soul.
yes.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
it was true.
And they don't.
Right. And that's why we love Jimmy and Steve Gadd and all these guys who can really nuance the drum. But to me, and I know the technology has really expanded, but I hesitate to say this because I'm sure before I check out, they will teach AI things to act. But I hear stuff and I can still hear it's not organic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's wishful thinking or it really is true that, drum machines have no soul.
My son is a drummer, and he said no one wants to go see a laptop on a stage.
Right.
It's like there's something organic about it that you want to see a performer.
Yeah.
You want to hear a performer. Yes, you can do it on a drum track or, but it loses something.
Yeah, it really loses something. Yeah, they're soulless.
Well, that's what we found
it
doing
really is.
It is, and that's what we found doing our concerts. I think all of us have learned because we're old dogs. We've been around until the advent of all these conventions that we are so impossibly blessed to attend. We knew people were watching because we were working.
You had an inkling.
Yeah,
of it,
you'd get
but
another
you really
season.
didn't understand
But
the depth
you
that
guys
this goes to.
Oh my God, Billy and Jimmy and I and we honestly never knew the extent to which these characters connect with people to their souls.
Oh yeah.
And we all have heard, especially Jimmy with Winnie the Pooh. Well, all the Disney stuff, the stuff we hear through tears.
Yeah.
About parents and their children or
Very
people
moving.
who had impossibly
absolutely,
difficult childhoods, and they tell, if it weren't for ... Are you kidding me? So,
And they know more of my performances than I do. They'll quote stuff that you've done, 20 years ago, and Goof Trope in the 3rd episode. You had a dinosaur egg, and you put the dinosaur egg in a closet. Why did you do that? I don't know where my keys are.
I've been wondering, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Can we finally put
It
that
had
to
room in
rest?
it.
Yeah. And wait, I think, and wait a minute, it was Stiggy, wasn't it? I can't believe
You remember that?
My
Yeah.
God.
Oh
It
my
was
Stiggy.
gosh.
Yeah.
Well done,
it was,
Jimmy.
And it was a comic.
No.
It's going to make them nuts.
Little pieces come back from time to time. I'll remember that
Well,
at
Bright
3:30 tomorrow. Stiggy, that was
Stiggy.
3 in the
yeah,
morning.
Stiggy.
Is when I
yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
see it.
that, and he came
And
out
that
of
was
a
like
big egg.
1990 or something like that.
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
God.
Jeez, I can't believe God Almighty.
Oh my goodness.
Of course, I can't remember my phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need-
Where's my wallet?
I need.
don't.
Yeah.
No, it's very interesting as the sort of hopefully normal aspects of getting a bit older. I can remember not only lyrics to the songs I do, howdy, but lyrics to so many rock and roll songs I grew up listening to. Steely Dan song all day long. I
Oh,
could listen to
yeah.
that stuff, but I can't remember what did I come to the garage for?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. On the way in here, the ostensible reason for this lovely mini reunion is the fact that we were all on Goof Troop.
Yeah.
And then it
Which
spun
led
off.
into a Goofy movie. Yeah.
And I was telling these two rock stars when I got here, we were all invited down to D23. Well, you guys go to D23 all the time because you're Disney legends.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But
yes.
I've only been invited
Every week.
once. And I went down, whatever it was, 8 or 9 years ago. Your wife called me. Jen said, hey, Rob, are you available? They're doing this wonderful celebration of the 20th anniversary
Yeah,
of
she
Goofy
called
movie.
everybody and set that up. Even we were going to give a ride to Tevin Campbell. 'Cause
Yeah.
he didn't have a ride down there, and so we put that.
It
up.
was so sweet. I got
That's
down there. I
crazy.
thought, well, yeah, that sounds like a blast. I'll get to see everybody. Little did I know. Jen set me straight. When I got there, I said, wow, I hope somebody shows up. And she said, oh, honey. Let me, and she pulled up YouTube.
Oh yeah.
And she had either Goofy Movie or Tevin Campbell or something.
Yeah,
12 million views.
yeah.
And I said,
That'll
I had
do.
no idea. Well, the place held 1,000 people, and they had to turn a bunch of people away.
There were people outside
Yeah.
listening in through the walls.
Oh my God!
They had we were like drowning out the panel next
Marching
door
band.
and everything. What's going on over there? Let's go see that
We're
one.
drowning out the
tell 'em.
construction site next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell these folks what you were saying about the Star Wars thing at that same.
Oh, they had on blogs and stuff like that, they listed the top 10 panels to go see. Ours wasn't even listed in the top 10.
Oh, wow.
But they had to get a bigger room for us because of all the people wanting to see it.
That's
and
what they
ultimately,
get.
it became #1 fan favorite, beating out the Star Wars panel, and they had George Lucas and Harrison Ford. So, yes, I think
Unbelievable.
people liked it.
Yeah.
I think
So how about
people
that?
liked it.
And
Yeah.
So I remember driving home, called my son, and said, "Hey man, do you and Basola watch? You ever watch a Goofy movie?" And there was just dead air, and he said, "Well, yeah, we watch it probably 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah.
Everybody does."
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
didn't you know? And I have since learned after all these conventions, people
Yeah.
come up all the time with Goofy movie stuff.
And that one, Jason Marsden did not get to sing
Right.
the songs together with me.
Right.
Um,
you guys
and we
didn't
did that
sing, "Do
before
ya
we
feel
actually
a
started
little bit-"
recording. Yeah, the open road and
Yeah.
nobody else but you.
But since he's
they had Aaron Lohr, who's
been
a
working
friend of
on it.
Jason's.
Yeah.
And Jason was talking to Aaron. Hey, what you up to? Yeah, I'm doing this Goofy movie thing. They got some singer that can't sing. And I said,
goes,
well,
"Oh,
that's me.
it's me."
You know,
Oh,
but no, he
man.
can.
Yeah.
And so we rectified that at that particular
night.
D23.
Yeah.
And we sang the open road together. And yeah, they should have used Jason
They
because he easily can sing that and
Yeah.
did a great
Yeah,
job. Of it.
it's not
And-
an opera.
Yeah.
Jason isn't able to join us today, who's Max. But man, I know I'm preaching to the choir out there, but Billy, the acting job that you and Jason, as father and son, did, hit every frickin' note in my heart
it was
as a
very
father.
sweet.
It was brilliant. I know Kevin Lima did a great job, but your performances, you and absolutely the angst that dropped me off here, Dad. I don't want you to, I love my
Yeah.
kid, but it's
Yeah, that was
beautifully acted.
That was tough to get in the beginning because it's emotions that we never really had to explore with
Yeah,
Goofy.
not
and
with
stuff.
those
Yeah.
characters.
Jason
right.
especially says that his favorite scene in the movie is with Pete and Goofy in the hot tub, which was so real.
was.
I'm thinking that's too much me.
No.
That's not enough Goofy, but it worked.
It worked like a charm,
yeah.
and that everybody I know, including my son, and now he's 40. We've been through a lot of that stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
And so to watch that as a father and going back to with my dad, trying to figure stuff out, and my kid gets
Yeah.
tearful every time he sees it, and it's beautifully written, beautifully directed. But you and Jason, it's wonderful work, and
That's very kind. Well,
and-
we did that
Very
over
true.
I recorded over a 2-year period on that. They took their time. They canceled scenes, characters, redid stuff, went
Oh,
back
yeah.
and back and back, and about a 2-year recording period
It's
on that, off and on. you know.
utterly timeless. And what I love about the fact that you guys and all of us are lucky enough to be working, but you guys get to do sort of more high profile Disney legend stuff, movies and all that. And because of Winnie the Pooh, I remember about 3 or 4 years ago when Christopher Robin was coming out, and I remember seeing the trailer and being with Jimmy and said, Jimmy, that you lit that movie up.
Oh,
2
thanks.
months later, the cover of Vanity Fair
Fair.
magazine
Vanity Fair.
had Ewan McGregor on it, and the headline was, "There is an Oscar-winning performance in Christopher Robinson." Christopher Robinson, right?
Robin, yeah.
Robin, and it's not Ewan McGregor. It was Jimmy,
Yeah.
and that's
That
what
was very
they're
nice
Doesn't
of them.
surprise me at all.
not a bit. That's
That was
my
so
point.
nice, yeah.
Acting is acting, folks.
Yeah.
These two guys light it up every time they do it, and those two
Listen to
particular
him.
performances with Goofy
Here's
movie.
your 20. Okay.
No,
Yeah, I was going to say, is that 50?
what a
Did
pleasure.
you drop
'cause
this 50?
I've gotten to know these guys for the last 35, 40
Yeah,
years.
sure.
Oh,
And so
Yeah.
it's absolutely as it should be. You guys are rocks. It's
it was
movie stars.
There's never a Comic-Con that I go to that is a lot of people don't bring that up.
Yeah.
It's the number one thing anyone talks about
that
at
great?
my table, and it's like now it's been so long. I used to take Max's side of the whole thing, and now I take Goofy's side because I got 3 kids of my own. I understand what he's talking about.
Yeah. It's not so funny anymore. It's
And I always had my dad was just a big turd in the punch bowl.
PJ!
Oh my God, there's not enough weed in the world for my old man.
There's no booklet on how to be a dad. You know?
Oh my God. Oh man.
Pull my finger, son.
All right, Dad. Oh my God, my dad farted. Never saw that coming.
Yeah.
We had so much fun in that. Remember
Under
April
your
Winchell?
thumb, Goof. Under your thumb.
Oh, I thought you said pull the finger.
Well, that too. Yeah, sage advice,
We had-
parenting tips
Very
with
sage,
Pete.
very sage.
My mom, your wife, was April Winchell, right?
Yeah.
Your daughter was Nancy Cartwright,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then,
Well, actually, that's still Pete's daughter.
oh, that's our
That was
daughter,
still
your
Pete.
daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah,
Pistol.
I just had
Pistol.
Max.
Yeah, you just had Max.
Yeah.
But I always thought,
And we don't know who he married.
yeah.
No,
I mean,
we don't know.
we
We
don't
never
know.
knew what Mrs. Goofy was like, right?
No, we never knew. There was never a backstory. He appeared. She actually appeared in 7 cartoons, though.
Really?
In the 50s, when Goofy went through this change, and they made him more of a everyman. George Geef.
Didn't he date Clarabelle? April
There
Winchell?
was kind
That's
of
kind
some
of an
stuff in the
interspecies
3
romance.
Musketeers. There was kind of yeah, they kind of fell in love a little bit. They had
Yeah.
a thing going
The Three
on.
Musketeers, you mean with Mickey, Goofy, and Donald?
Yes, absolutely. And I
I'm
know
a
you're
I'm
the
a
singing
singing turtle in
You're
that.
singing
You were the
turtle.
troubadour.
I'm a
Yeah,
troubadour.
it's a small
Yeah.
world after all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris Otsuki.
But don't sing it.
I don't. No, I won't. But Chris Otsuki wrote lyrics to the Blue Danube, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it
yeah.
was a charming little movie.
That was a great movie. And
But I didn't know
yeah.
that there was actually a Mrs. Goofy years ago, right?
Yes, there was. And some of the George, you never saw her face.
Oh.
She had red hair, but they kind of showed a human
Yeah.
figure and hair, and it almost looks like Cinderella from the side, and you just get a glimpse of the face, but they never showed. And it's like, George, go out and get some apples or
But
something like
but
that.
Goofy was always a dog.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Well, his original name was Dippy Dog.
Dippy Dog.
And people come up to me all the time. I heard Goofy was a cow. And no, that's Clarabelle.
No, you're
Goofy's
thinking
a
of
Dippy Dog.
No, but he makes it with one.
Yeah. Well, you have a
Clarabelle is-
human wife. Goofy, you animal. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
you never know. It's a strange universe.
Yeah.
You know. And what about Pluto? Okay,
Yeah.
mice
What about
can
him?
have dogs as pets. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Yeah.
You're listening to a bunch of guys who make their living doing essentially what got us in trouble in 7th grade.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I never understood how that was. I remember being a little kid going, okay, so Goofy's a dog,
Right.
right? And Pluto's a dog.
Yeah.
And how come Pluto's not talking and why is Goofy?
Yeah.
And why can't
I
he
get that
just
question every comic.
Yes,
Yeah, do you? Yeah,
Yeah.
what is well
The way
tell
I come
world.
up, there's no official thing. Goofy's kind of an anthropomorphic dog, He's a mog. He's a man dog.
Yeah.
He's Canis Goofus.
Canis Goofus.
That's what
Maximus.
he is. Yeah.
Nice.
Canis Goofus Maximus. I
But-
like that.
You know
That's
what,
my
though?
son.
The coolest thing with both these guys is having known them for so long and getting to sit next to them at Comic-Con after Comic-Con. And, man, the number of people I see get tearful, men and women, when Jimmy starts riffing as Winnie the Pooh, it's priceless. And then same
Yeah.
with Billy.
Celebrities
Billy-
will do that.
All
It's-
Billy has to do is say, heel, and people flip out. It is the most glorious thing to watch. It's just precious.
Yeah, it's
I
really
can't get
nice.
enough of it.
Well, it's nice because you can see all of a sudden, this guy's 45 years old, and you say, well, would you pass the honey? Oh, and you could just see, I'm 5. I'm 5.
Oh.
It's so cool.
Or if you do
It's a
selfies with
interesting
them,
thing.
Yeah.
you feel they're shaking.
shaking.
They're
Yeah.
shaking. That
Yeah.
always.
But that's
wow,
the stuff we
okay.
never
Yeah,
would
they're
have known
wet,
were it
too.
not
You
for
guys
these
wanna- no,
events.
just kidding.
And my God, it happened. Maurice and I were at an event in Dallas a few years ago, and had a nice line at an event, and there was
Yeah.
a gentleman who was all tatted out, long ponytail, 6 big guy, comes up, And I said, "Hey, God, you're a big one, aren't you?" And he just went.
He folded up.
He said,
Oh,
"I'm
that's
sorry, man.
great.
I don't know what's happening." I said,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, I'm so sorry." I hope it.
Yeah,
And it turns out
it's unusual.
It's a
He just-
superpower.
he just said, "I had to tell you, I drove from a couple states away. I did 3 tours of duty in Iraq, and my job was to kill the bad guys and I could kill myself. And then we go back after being on, patrol and have a couple of beers and watch Pinky and the
Oh,
Brain."
look at that.
Are you
Wow.
kidding?
That's awesome.
And it happens to fans
Sure.
of all the work we've done.
Yeah.
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 How on earth can you quantify that compliment?
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Yeah, I just think
Yeah,
of it as a blessing.
You don't
yeah.
get that point of view at when we're in the studio.
No.
I mean, because it's basically just you got your script, a microphone, and a chair, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And the director kind of telling you do the lines. You never know where it goes. But
Never.
on the Comic-Cons, we get a chance to hear this
Oh, my
from the public.
goodness.
It's really mind blowing.
It is, and all it does is give all of us who are so unbelievably fortunate to do this, it gives us a perspective that is bigger than our paycheck, it's bigger than ratings, it's bigger than merchandise. It is about a pure connection of joy that
Oh, yeah.
literally changes people's lives.
Right.
Who knew?
Yeah. I love it so
Oh,
much.
God, Jim. Me
And then
too.
you can go back to being a jerk and you even out.
Yeah.
It's
but you got to work hard on that part to even out the
I gotta really.
I'd
plug
love to
away
talk
on
to you
that.
some more, but I got a couple of strippers in the room. And,
Yeah, it's like I'll be back
Cowabunga,
after
honey.
a
Matter of
while.
fact, we used to all kid each other about. Jimmy was on Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah.
We used to all kid each other about going. There's going to be someday when Cam and Townsend and Barry and I are going to be at mall openings.
Yeah, oh,
we
yeah.
got a dinged up old fiberglass shell and green tights with
Turtle
runs in
power,
them.
okay? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What's your name, Timmy? Is that your mom?
Yeah.
You tell her Raphael's
Yeah,
think
he's
she's
happy to.
pretty good looking pizza girl, yeah.
I mean, oh my God, it's horrible. But now
Yeah,
we're there.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
we're
yeah,
that old.
yeah. Oh boy.
Jesus. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Well,
Beats working for a living.
Yes, it does. And then that reminded me of the Tyson Chronicles, which
Yeah. Oh my God.
which we will never.
I
we
wasn't
will
going to
never-
bring it up, but
Okay, I don't
Jimmy.
think I know this story.
Okay. Okay. All right. Allow me.
It was the worst thing in the world. Shit is so confusing.
because I used to just rip on Mike Tyson for some reason.
Jimmy
and
used
we
to.
would go. I would
We
be
would
like
be
a half an
working
hour
on
later.
whatever, and I couldn't help it. I said,
man.
Jimmy, what does Mike Tyson think about this? And then he would go off, and it was so wrong.
It
But
was
all I could do,
terrible,
I
terrible.
could not hold my breath. He would
Yeah.
start riffing as Mike Tyson, and it was just.
I forgot about that.
Beautiful.
You brought it out of me.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Ooh.
Well, it's gonna stay in bed, yo. Cause shit, Mike, you know what I'm saying? Mike is not properly Englished up to where he could speak with all these different. He have a different word for everything, and shit is confusing.
What? Scrutinizing what?
Yeah, don't scrutinize with my brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remembered
forgot about
all
that
of it.
one.
Oh,
Oh,
my
God.
God, Jimmy, that was like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
It just-
Oh my
It
God.
still lights me up.
Yeah.
God bless you. Oh, my God. How
We'll
lucky
do
are
that, but
we to
not
get
on this.
wallow
I
in
mean-
this stuff.
Absolutely. And that's what was so great about Goof Troop is we got to do it ensemble.
Oh yeah.
which we
Oh,
didn't
I
anymore.
agree.
Ginny
I
McSally.
agree.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Frank Welker
Yeah.
was sitting
Frank.
over there
Yeah,
doing
no,
cricket noises and
Yeah,
stuff.
we had
and
little
then-
Dana Hill, bless
Yeah.
her heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she was
Oh,
so
my
great.
goodness. That was so much. Oh, God, that was so good.
That was good stuff. You know, they speaking of that, I mean, we're all still working here and there, not a ton, but I miss everybody being in the studio
Oh,
Yeah,
Jimmy.
I do
Me
too.
too.
Yeah.
because it's all flying solo. I mean, even
Yeah.
if you high five each other in the hall, it's not the same.
Especially
and
during
we're
COVID.
always
yeah,
asked.
really.
Look, we
Yeah.
have a gig. We know it's convenient for you to record at home, or you can do it here. I said, I'm in.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to record at home.
Yeah.
We know
Yeah.
all the recording engineers,
Yeah.
the casting people.
And I always say I have a blue collar approach toward
Me
a
too.
no collar career.
Yeah,
You know,
great
I mean,
way to do it.
yeah,
I'm a
that's-
journeyman and very proud to be, but I love being in the studio.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
I
don't
like
want to
getting up, going
record
to work.
from home.
I do quite often, but it's because my son's an audio engineer, and so
Sure,
I
and he
throw
can
him a
do
few
it.
bucks, and he runs the board and
Yeah.
everything, so I don't have to. It's no different, really. And I'm still seeing Kelly Ward, our director, on Zoom, basically, and that's
Yeah.
kind
Tell
of
him I
what it
said
is.
hi.
You know, you can just look through the glass and see him, or you can see him on a Zoom, and a lot of the other people are usually on Zoom, so it's not that much different. But I
Yeah.
still like the feel of a studio, and in the hallway you get to see people.
Oh, and you just-
that's about
Yeah.
it.
We remember Jimmy and I got to work on with Jimmy doing Taz on Tasmania every Friday
Yeah.
at a studio called what was that called?
Oh,
It was out there in Glendale. Soundcastle.
yeah.
Every Friday for like 2 years, I think. Every single.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, 65.
Oh my God! Jimmy Cummings, Maurice LaMarche,
Dan Castellaneta.
Dan Homer,
Oh, yeah.
Dan Castellaneta, Miriam Flynn.
Miriam was in most of them.
Oh, Debbie Derryberry.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
and I left every one of those sessions unable to speak because I laughed
We just had a
for
ball.
4
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it what spectacular memories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that Tasmania, I guess, where would that be now?
I
Is
guess
it on
it's-
there somewhere?
Yeah, so they're probably all on
Find it
YouTube.
somewhere.
Yeah, they're out there
Brett, you know, he knows.
in the universe somewhere.
Where is it?
It'd be on. Well, Warner Brothers Discovery. They have their own streaming app now, right? It'd
Oh,
be
did
on
they?
there, surely.
Yeah.
It was great, and we all got to do the. Oh no, you and Jess did the "Come to Tasmania."
Oh,
Come
yeah,
to Tasmania.
yeah.
You did the
We
theme
made
song.
you. Oh, you know what? That's an interesting little tidbit. At the end of the Tasmania theme song,
Right.
we, me and you.
Right.
That was the very, 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 very first thing that ever came out of my mouth as Taz because they used the audition. Art Vitello told me that.
Outstanding.
And I said, yeah, that because he was asking me, does that sound familiar? And I go, yeah, I think it's me. And he goes, no, I mean, but when was it you? And I go, I don't know.
Yeah.
He goes, it's the first thing you ever did as Taz.
Holy crap!
Really?
I said, no way. He goes, yep.
Wow.
You know, Art Vitello, the
Yeah.
mad genius.
Oh man,
He was,
talk about nailing it right out of the chute.
yeah. I was really honored. I said, thanks.
And
That's
then-
a cool story.
And
I should tell it more often.
Mo played your dad as
Oh,
Bing
yeah.
Crosby.
Yes.
Blah blah blah. Yakety
Yakety
schmackety.
schmackety.
Oh, that's got
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
boy
that's
Taz. Oh
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus, it was
Yeah,
hysterical.
Bing Crosby is Taz's dad. That's
Oh, God.
that's
We're-
genius. Yeah, that was a good stuff. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
They don't make them like that anymore.
No,
Damn it.
No, but boy, were we lucky to do all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, that we were talking about it earlier. The Princess and the Frog was the very last handheld or
Hand-drawn?
animated
Yeah, yeah.
hand-drawn movie.
And boy, do I sing your
you know.
praises literally about
well,
that
thanks.
character.
But
Yeah.
just
Oh,
it's-
that is
Ray
I
the
missed
Firefly.
That. I missed the way it looks. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, Ray's good.
Oh
Thank you.
no, Ray, Jimmy. Somebody asked me. I forgot what I was working on, and I know what it is. I'm doing this show for Hulu called Fright Crew, which is an animated vampire thing that takes place in Louisiana. In
Oh,
New
yeah,
Orleans.
yeah.
Okay, so somebody said, "Oh, do you do a Cajun?" I said, "No, I don't have to do it. But if I did, I would just say, don't. I'm not even going to try.
just go
Call
to Jim.
Jim." Because all you got to do is listen to 2 minutes of Ray the Firefly.
And you
And
have
Jimmy-
no idea what he said.
Oh my God, you're so. But it's perfect, Jim.
Oh, thanks.
And then you sing Randy Newman songs.
Yeah.
Are you?
That's fun. We like
Oh,
that.
That's
God.
a beautiful movie.
We
Not
like
as
that
many
part.
people know that movie as they should.
Oh.
It's a beautiful,
Yeah, I
beautiful
thought so.
film.
It's great. It is
Absolutely.
beautiful. And I just watching it for Ray is worth the price of admission.
Absolutely.
It's
Oh, well, thank
spectacular.
you. Thank you.
Leave some
we
talent
just,
for the rest of us, will you, dude?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
not
yeah,
fair.
right. Well, I had it was nice. I had a chance to see Keith
Oh,
David,
yeah.
Dr. Facilier,
Just
just recently.
How's
down
he
there.
doing?
Yeah, he's doing whatever he wants, looking
Yeah.
good, you know, styling,
Good for him.
you know, doing his thing.
He was. I worked with him on.
in New Orleans.
I worked with him on Amphibia. He was
What was
king.
he did one of the gargoyles.
Gargoyle.
Oh, yes,
okay,
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
he gets
Goliath.
He was the Goliath. Yeah. What
was
a
Goliath.
voice.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, Rich is he narrated the jazz, Ken Burns jazz.
Yeah.
That's
All that,
right.
like
he
8
did.
volume, 10 volumes. That
I
was him.
remember that.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Great guy.
Speaking of deep, I saw at a Comic-Con a couple months ago, Frank and Peter are going around doing a lot of them as Optimus and
Oh, really?
Megatron.
Yeah.
Oh.
And is it ever cool?
Yeah,
I
it's so cool.
those guys just
They're iconic.
oh my god.
Forget it.
I directed the
I always thought Frank was the Beatles.
yeah. Oh, me
That's
too.
the way I've thought of it. I think
When I
Frank
got to
Welker
meet
was
Frank,
the
I look
Beatles.
at Frank, go, that's
Yeah.
the guy. That's
Yeah.
That's the guy.
But I directed the last iteration of Ninja Turtles at Nickelodeon called Rise of the TMNT, and there was a point at which the producers had these 2 bad guys, and they hired Frank and Peter. So I got a call, and they said, Robbie, we're going to bring the writers in because they're going to lose their minds that Frank and Peter are there. 'Cause they're all
Yeah.
35 years old.
Sure.
So when they came in, everybody, all the writers were there, like just total. They had their Transformers action, everything.
Oh,
to
sure,
sign.
sure.
You know, so excited. So when before Peter went, I said, Peter, when we do a mic check, just do Optimus.
Yeah.
No problem. So thanks, Frank. Blah blah blah. Peter, can we get another? He goes, Autobots roll out. And these 4 or 5 35-year-old boys,
They just go nuts. Yeah, it's that instant
one of them got
recognition.
tearful. The
Yeah.
other ones are like, oh my God. Oh my. And that's all.
Yeah.
Autobots roll out.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. It's
Incredible to watch
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
It's so good. Yeah, and Peter's like he was it.
Oh.
Uh,
In fact, I remember
does
when.
a hell of an Eeyore, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He does. Who's doing John Fiedler, the Piglet?
Well, it was Travis. He haven't done it in a
No Piglet for a
long
while?
time. Travis Oates. He's he did it, and he's right there. And I remember when he was auditioning, for some reason they had me there, and I said, oh, okay, yeah, this is fine. And this is really silly, but he was doing it, and I said, he sounds really good. I said, can you speed that up 3%? I just said that.
Good for you.
I just said
And
that.
it worked, right?
I just and all of a sudden Piglet popped up. Rick Dempsey looks at me and he goes, "You after my job?" Or I go, "No,
Good for you, Jim.
But
What a
but
great
it
ear.
was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, Travis was perfect.
And
at that point.
it probably sealed the deal for him. So well
Yeah,
done.
well, he was happy. Yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
I thought they sped it up anyway, but then you meet John Fiedler, and he
did
really
have
does
that,
talk
yeah.
like, God
That's how
rest
he
his
talked.
soul.
Well, it's like Lorenzo doing
Garfield.
Oh, yeah.
Garfield. That's how
Yeah.
he talked.
That's him
That
just
was him.
speaking.
That-
Lorenzo
Barry
music.
Gordon doing Donatello. That's how he spoke.
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
that. Hi, you
Yeah,
guys.
this guy gets no work.
Yeah.
I've never done anything with this. Maybe promos,
Yeah,
I guess, but that was it.
yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
talker.
I have to have a mask to hide behind.
well.
We all do.
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
it's just kind of silly that all of us are. I still look around over my shoulder and think, is somebody going to tap me on the shoulder and say,
Yeah.
wait a second, rope it in there, Junior.
Yeah.
We've been paying you how much to do this for how long?
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
got to
it's
go.
a total bookkeeping error.
I'm just glad the voices stayed this long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't. Yuck. I'm
Yeah.
expecting
Yeah.
that one of these days. But,
Well,
Well, knock on wood.
I think a lot of
37 years.
a lot of those guys. I mean, even Ernie Anderson, until he probably died in his mid-70s, I think, and smoked like a chimney. But he sounded tonight on Vegas on the
Yeah.
Love, but
Yeah, on the
right to the
Love
end.
Boat. Yeah. Yeah, so true.
A lot of us. Michael Bell is 85.
Really?
Isn't that something?
Oh my God.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
he could
Mike,
pass for
but-
84.
Yeah.
So.
Alan
And I would say
Oppenheimer.
that if he were here, by the way, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, it's nuts, man, that we're able to
Yeah.
still do our gig and
I'll knock on that
have nice
wood.
people out there watch
Yeah.
and have nice people have our age come in here and make sure this happens, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Or a third.
Or third.
Of
Yeah.
our-
Well, people
someday
don't
he'll
know
be half
this.
our age.
I was the entertainment at the Last Supper.
Oh, you were?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you were?
Yeah,
But that was a tough room.
They're a tough room.
What a
Jesus,
chuckle,
what a party!
chuckle fest.
I'll tell you,
Yeah, my stage name was Shecky of Arimathea.
What's for dessert?
Yeah.
You know.
Shecky of Arimathea.
Yeah, and we had a ball. We started to do.
I'll tell you that Judas. Okay.
what a guy, what a
Whoa,
guy,
Hey.
you know.
Judas said, "Let's do karaoke." I said, "Okay, great." After my set, but that son of a bitch. The first song he did was Backstabbers, and I thought that's just poor choice. Poor taste. But Jesus, it was a hell of a party. So.
Yeah. Oh God.
There you go.
The wine was good.
I'm telling you, I'm all right now, but I'm getting old, Johnny. My last birthday cake looked like a prairie fire.
Yeah.
My wife's a lousy cook. I never knew toast had bones.
Yeah.
Over and over. Maurice used to open for Rodney for like a year and a half.
I didn't know that.
So he's got them all.
Oh my.
He had a
gosh,
whole
that's
stack
cool.
of my wife's a lousy cook. All the flies in the neighborhood got together and packed up the screen door. Oh my God. My daughter, she's no bargain either. She was voted most likely to conceive.
Yeah, I think first time I saw Mo was on a Rodney
Young Comedians.
Dangerfield Young Comedians thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, way back when.
And he opened for Rodney for.
And I saw him at a
Yeah.
Fiji commercial.
Yeah,
Fu-
he did. He
Fuji.
was the
Sorry,
Fuji
Fuji.
videotape guy for a while.
Videotape guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's. And now he's half the voices on Futurama
Yeah.
and still killing it as the brain.
And has the best fake burp in the world.
Oh my God.
I've heard that. I have not
We
heard
did a
it
thing on
live.
Animaniacs, in fact, in which Jess Harnell's character, Wacko, the great Wacko-Roddy, performs at the Hollywood Bowl with the Blue Danube. And the orchestra is la da 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 da, bleh, 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 and it's Maurice.
Oh.
Or in the movie The Elf,
Class out the wazoo.
That's,
or
yeah.
Elf, when
Yeah.
what's it?
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
Drinks all that. That's Mo.
That's what I was thinking of. I was trying to come up
when he
with what.
burps?
That's him
Yeah,
burp-
with Will
his
Ferrell.
burp
Yeah,
over.
that's
Oh wow. See now that's
When we
that's
do
classy.
it, when we do it with
those little
Animaniacs
obscure
in
things
concert.
are always the best. You
Say
know, the little obscure things
my
are
God.
always the best. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was him. You know,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
Whenever we do that with the Animaniacs in concert, the first thing when he leaves the stage, I say, "How does your dad make a living?"
Yeah, yeah.
And he also was the voice of in Ed Wood, which is a great movie, that Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
He's
yes.
the voice
yeah.
of
Yeah,
young
Orson.
Orson Welles.
Young Orson Welles in that.
It was, I think, Vince D'Onofrio who was the
Yep.
the actor, and Tim Burton is a big Pinky and the Brain fan. So he said, "I'm going to get the
Rightly
guy
so.
that does Brain."
Wow.
So
You never
little
know.
inside baseball, folks.
Yeah, little cool stuff there.
Yeah.
Huh? You can't get this everywhere.
Yeah.
No.
Right, Brenda? He's been mysteriously quiet.
Yes.
Well, he's probably going, Rob Paulsen hasn't shut up for a freaking hour.
Sometimes he's going to know when to sit back and just shut up. And you guys are just.
Well,
That's a
clearly
gift.
I have
Having a
not learned that
fantastic
skill.
conversation.
Yeah. Well, thank God you
Yeah.
haven't. Thank God none of us have.
I just, I think there's a part of me that, and I don't mean to be too maudlin, but there's a part of me you go, well, we're closer to the end than the beginning. We've had a
yeah.
remarkable wonder, but I don't ever, ever, ever want to take any of these opportunities, thank you,
Right.
for granted. I couldn't
you
say
can't.
yes fast
You
enough.
can't.
Are you kidding
No.
me? I get to hang out with you guys. There will ultimately come a time where you go, man, I'm,
It's
I'm
a
just so
life-changing
exhausted.
thing.
I can't do
this,
this anymore. And
These
I
characters
want to do
are,
it.
Yeah, these characters are just life changing. They really are.
And I get to hang out with you guys. I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty cool.
And it's fun. We get drunk and
Yeah.
No, you haven't lived until you've heard Goofy after he's drunk a
I
little
talk
bong
normal
water.
then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I start saying, "Oh, I would like another drink."
Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Have I brought this up? I feel like I did before, but the very first time I met you, Bill, was at the premiere of Roger Rabbit. And,
Yeah. That was on the lot.
the less Perkins, the better. Was there?
The less Moonvest,
Yeah,
the better.
I remember that because my wife spilled a
knows.
beer on Bruce Willis.
Wow.
Oh,
there that
yeah.
night, so-
Yeah, on purpose.
Okay,
Whoops.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm thinking,
Mr.
my
Willis,
career's-
I'm so
yes,
sorry.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Did I? Oh.
You know,
Jeez. Oh wow.
good-looking girl like that.
That's
Were
crazy.
you guys both in Roger Rabbit?
That I
was,
did
yeah, I
ADR. That was my first. I didn't
for
do
you.
Goofy in it,
You-
but I did some background voices and the song at the end. Say, "Smile, darn you, smile."
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
that's me. And one time through, I was doing Goofy by that time, and I sang it as Goofy just to
Great.
get him in there, but it's uncredited.
Sure. Yeah.
And well, who did you play?
Well, I was bullet number 2, and I was
those are cool.
a lead weasel.
Yeah.
For
also,
tons. Me and Bob Hoskins is my coolest thing.
Oh, man.
Got to hang out in Griffith Park
How
all night
cool
long. All
was
night
that?
long. And they cut the whole thing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. And I saw
That's showbiz.
I wanted to steal that weasel.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was
man.
about this tall. And they were holding it like there, and I had to be off camera wearing a big black velvet cloak
Right.
so I wouldn't reflect any light
Right.
in it. And I was doing how you doing there, Eddie Valiant? Hey, come over, I'm a go, you know. And they cut it. So,
Man. Well,
so I got my 3 little lines in as bullet number 2.
Bullet number 2, which
we
was
had
Andy Devine.
Andy Devine
Andy.
bullet.
Oh my
yeah.
God, you do that perfectly. By the
Yeah,
way.
good old. He was Herb Muddlefoot
Is that right?
in Darkwing.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
I stole it.
Yeah.
It was me.
Well, hey man,
How you doing there, DW?
I can't. I stole Pat Buttram.
Buttram, there you go.
You do it
I've done that a
better
few
than me,
times.
and I stole it for the first time was we did it in the oh God, it was where he played Chief, Hound, Fox and Hounds 2 or something like
there
that.
you go.
And I swear to God,
Yeah, you nailed that.
well,
too.
thank you. I walked into LA Studios, and Pat frickin' Buttram was
Yeah.
there on another gig, and
Oh, no.
he was probably 85.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Mr.
was
Haney said,
comfortable.
and I said,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I said, Mr. Buttram, what a pleasure. I'm such a fan. I have to tell you, I'm doing you in the blah, blah. Well, that's all right, son. I ain't using my voice much no more. And so I thought, I'll never get this chance again. So I said, well, it's such a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Buttram. I love Green Acres like anyone with a pulse. Thank you, son. How are you? He was a vaudeville comic. And,
Oh, yeah.
Gene Autry's sidekick, right? So without missing a beat, how are you, Mr. Butt? Man, I'm great. I just met me a $5 hooker who validates.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, man.
He was doing material on his last movie was a Goofy movie.
Wow.
Is that
And,
right?
Yes, I was
Oh,
in the
it's like the
hall
Chuck E.
waiting.
Cheese thing.
Yeah, here
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
You know, that's all he was doing, and a little thing. And he went in, but he was like doing material. He had a gig that night, and he was doing Jack Palance, a roast for Jack Palance.
Oh, my God.
And he was
Somebody
up there.
done
How many
beat
of
you
know
with
this?
the ugly stick.
Yeah, there was actually the joke he said was, Bill, I'm going to do this tonight. He said, who was he?
Jack?
Yeah, Jack Palance. Yeah.
Jack Palance,
You know, you're an amazing guy. You was on the Oscars and you was doing one-arm push-ups and Father Time has been very kind to you, but it looks like Mother Nature done kicked the hell out of your face.
Yeah. Oh, man.
He was doing material.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Oh.
isn't that great?
And he was just on.
It
And
never stops.
he passed away about 6 months after that.
Yeah.
We were going to go
But
out
you got to hang with
lunch.
him.
Yeah, and I've done that a few times on some shows.
Oh, man.
You know,
I
I lucked out and got
always
his
one of my
autograph.
favorites.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had him sign it on. It's in my living room. It's
Oh,
signed
my
up there, and
God.
it says "Shoot low, they might be crawling." And you know,
What a great line.
What a great line! And it's right on the. You know, it was Amblin back then. It wasn't even
Yeah.
DreamWorks. You know, and he just signed a script.
Shoot low, they
Yeah.
might be
Yeah,
crawling.
it was so cool. And I just, and I got to hang out with him all night long. And he goes, "Do you know what give me 6 good men and a buckboard means?" And I said, "I have no idea." He goes, "God damn, I don't either." I must have said that in 40 movies.
Oh, man.
And then I said, "So you and Gene Autry, where they go?" "Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
down to the Sportsman's Law." In fact,
Right there on,
I went over
Ventura
there.
Coldwater.
I went over there and I said to the bartender, I said, "Have you seen Gene Autry?" He said, "You're standing on him." So I thought that was cool. And
How did we get so lucky?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
gosh.
I remember
an iconic dude. Just
I, at LA Studios again. I remember walking out of studio and coming the other way is Julie Andrews.
oh,
Same thing. I'm not going to get this chance again. I turned around and said, "Pardon me, Ms. Andrews?" "Yes. I am so sorry." "Oh, not at all. What may I help you?" I said, I just
Sure.
wanted to tell you, what a pleasure and what an all of that. And it was like the first time she'd ever heard it. "Oh," took my hand with both of hers.
Yeah.
"Oh, thank you. What is your name?" "Rob." "Rob, thank you. That's so very kind. Are you an actor?" I said, "Yeah." "Do you sing?" I said, "Well, yeah." oh, how lovely. Isn't it fun? I mean,
Oh my gosh.
Mary Poppins was sitting
Mary
here telling me,
Poppins.
and she could not have been more gracious.
Yeah.
She has to hear it every day. What a pro.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it just shows you, you know what, Junior? If you can cultivate anything resembling celebrity, that's how you behave.
Yeah.
A woman who could behave any way she wanted.
Oh yeah.
She came into a recording session at Walt Disney World, and we were doing a big round table thing, and was the most gracious person, like you say. What I do remember about that particular thing is we were doing a thing with Mickey and Minnie and Russi Taylor, who did Minnie.
God bless.
By the way, do
there
these
was
people
one
know,
thing-
excuse me, that Minnie and Mickey in real life
We're married.
were married?
married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wayne Allwine and Corey Burton was there, and we were doing a sketch and everything. And there was a thing where I was doing Pluto, and it's like he was like in pain, and I can't remember why we were doing it, but
Pluto's in pain.
Yeah.
That's
And
not right.
during the show, someone called up and said, "My daughter's traumatized because someone is mistreated." Oh, it was Cruella
dog.
DeVille was mistreating Pluto.
Oh.
And she was
Might have
And
known.
so Russi insisted on saying, "Open the mic, I want to say," and got on the line with this girl and says, "You know, it's just like a cartoon. It's like a play. It's not real, and we're just
Minnie.
having fun. So right, Pluto, row, row." You know, got to do that, and
There you go.
everything was okay. But I mean, Russi, and Wayne, they
Yeah,
were
they were-
Mickey and
they-
Minnie.
they
Oh my
They
God.
were
And
Mickey
you know,
Minnie.
I don't think
were.
I've ever seen two people more in
in
love
love. Yeah, they
with
were
one
sweet.
another. It was both
No.
their second marriages.
Yeah.
And I will never forget, I was working with Russi at LA Studios and doing some Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I was Toodles. And Wayne walks in from another session, and right in the middle, she's, "Oh, there's my handsome prince.
Oh, I know. She
There's
was
the
so
man of my
sweet.
dreams." The sort of relationship that everyone
Yeah.
would aspire to.
Yes.
So, of course, I am cut from the cloth I am. And Wayne came in, and they were canoodling, and they were just precious. And I said, you know, you guys,
This is
beautiful. I would pay pretty much anything to hear what that bedroom sounds like.
No.
Oh, right there, right there. Run like a dog and call me Pluto. And she, right away, they went right into it. They were
God.
wicked at the same time that they were
Yes.
precious.
Yes.
It was fantastic.
yeah,
Well,
they
again, I
were-
remember
they were
one of my
enjoying.
favorite memories of Russi was she was Mother Goose.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was it was the talking toy, and I did X amount of the things back then. There was Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And Mother Goose, and she was
Tony
Mother
Pope
Goose.
did some of those too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
But you know, we were doing this show, and she was doing Mother Goose, and I guess it was Princess and the Frog, I think.
Yeah.
No relation to the movie, but the beautiful princess leaned over and kissed the little frog right on the tip of his little. I can't say it. You know,
Isn't that
and
great?
it took like
As
8
Mother
takes.
Goose.
She couldn't do it. Everybody had to leave the room.
Oh, that's
Right,
fantastic.
kissed the little frog right on the tip of his little head.
Yeah.
Was what it was. what
Right.
And she couldn't say.
No, she couldn't get to it because she could not get the other thing out of her head.
Oh,
Well,
my God.
and
it was
this is
because
Minnie.
of
Mother
Wayne and
Goose.
Russi is why we quit doing ensemble work.
Yeah.
It was in the first.
couldn't get your breath.
No, there was a show called Dr. Daisy, and so Tress comes in as Daisy, and so she's gonna.
She's also
and
one that'll
they-
stir the pot.
And I actually had, this is absolutely true. My line was, gosh, Daisy, would you blow on my boo-boo? Because he'd hurt his knee. And so
Happiest
I
place on
couldn't say
earth.
that.
See where we're going with this.
I was like 15 minutes. I'm trying to get this line out without laughing. And Russi and Wayne are over there. And then Wayne is like, gosh, would you blow on my boo-boo after that? And Russi was she was laughing so hard that she did not make a sound. It was like,
Yeah. Oh, God.
yes.
it about
She
fell off
used to
the
go
chair.
facial.
Yeah.
Totally
I used to call it facial. She would go.
And it was about
fantastic?
that
It didn't-
point, from that point on, we started doing solo work.
Yeah, oh boy.
I get. I'm sure.
We can't afford this.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll
Oh, my
separate
God.
these
Blow
guys.
on your boo boo Goofy, and then she can
That's
say,
absolutely
"Oh, now I
true
understand
story.
what it means about a small world after all." Yeah.
Oh, see.
Oh God! In fact, we do that when we do Animaniacs. We do a song called Yakko's Universe, and at the end it says, let's see, something about
Pluto.
Yeah, we're it talks about all the planets and
is Uranus in there?
It's a big it's a big universe. And
we were all thinking
ours.
it. Okay. Yeah, we were thinking it.
So we do he says, well, that's not the original, and it's true. There was another ending that said, that goes like this. It goes, and it's part of a vast interplanetary system with everyone revolving around the sun, with Mercury in between us, and after that comes Venus, and still the solar system's just begun, past the Earth and toward the stars, where we find the planet Mars, which is over 50 billion miles away, and orbiting in pattern are Jupiter and Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. So we say, all together, it's a great big universe, and everyone's a part of it. No one knows just where the understart of it. We all live here together. It's our home forever. It's a small world after all. And when we did that, Stephen's office called.
That's a great ending.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. So now we do that and say we were not allowed to do it, but that was the original ending. And so if you're going to mess with a mouse in Burbank, that's not the mouse with whom you want to mess. Ask Florida.
Yeah.
You know. So, oh my God, all this.
That's funny.
All this crazy stuff.
That's funny.
Wow.
That's funny.
But you guys, my God, the stuff you
just left here.
How you've been doing Winnie? 35 years?
85, 1985.
Same with 40 years almost. Same with Tigger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, on and off. I was Tigger light. I was, when Paul Winchell, God rest his soul, he was going back and forth. Yeah. He was, Knucklehead Smith, Tigger, cured hunger. Yeah. It's a logical career progression.
And how long have you done Goofy?
But, next January will be 38 years.
Good.
Yeah.
God.
And
Mo did Yosemite Sam for 20 years, and he did Toucans. The Follow Your Nose.
Oh yes, he did.
37 years. He took over for Paul Frees.
Oh,
I was his nephew.
Is that right?
Me and Townsend Coleman.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we were the nephews.
That is so.
Sold a lot of Fruit Loops, man.
Yeah, man. Well, we do that at our show where I say, ladies and gentlemen, close your eyes. You're watching Saturday morning TV.
Yeah.
You're in little Ninja Turtle jammies. And they cut to commercial, and you hear "Follow Your Nose," Kellogg's Fruit Loops, and so I say, and they freak out. And they say, "Now I do want you to know that Mr. LaMarche is petitioning the folks at Kellogg's to include a prescription for Ozempic in every box of part of your complete breakfast." Yeah. But isn't that something that you guys have done more than a generation of iconic characters, and you've literally made them your own? You've done it longer than Pinto.
Yeah, oh yeah, much
I would
longer,
think, yeah.
And he left the studio for a while, and that's why they did all those how-to cartoons.
Oh yeah.
Because the beauty of skiing and all of those cartoons.
Was that Paul? Was that Paul Frees doing
that?
No,
I can't remember his name offhand, but
he
it wasn't.
He was.
Now it's Corey
but
Burton.
he had that. He thought these things were real. He didn't even know they were cartoons.
Oh, really? Because it was excellent.
And the beauty of skiing, and Corey Burton does a great job of it.
Yeah, he sure does.
How talented is that guy?
Yeah, he really does.
He wears the same clothes. I mean, the same type every day. And what I
cuts down on the
that's
wasting the time farting around in the
saves
closet.
detergent.
And you know what I love? I mean, I love about so many of us, but Billy West says, and he's right, voice actors are fearless because we go into work and we are utterly unself-conscious. Rob, I don't know. That doesn't really sound like a talking weasel.
Yeah. Well, what's a talking weasel sound like?
So you can't be self-conscious.
No.
Yeah.
You just got to go with it.
When I had Corey on my pod, I love him so much.
Yeah.
And he's very eccentric. And all these years, people are like, well, he's single, he's eccentric, he dresses the same. Check this out. I had him on my podcast, and we were talking about old announcers, old actors, and microphones.
And the microphones they use.
And he has an encyclopedic knowledge of microphone minutia. And we got done, and I said, Corey, I have to tell you, I am so impressed. You have an almost savant-like knowledge of this really cool stuff. And he looked at me sober as a judge, and he said, "Oh, well, I'm on the spectrum.
Yeah,
I'm
he just
I have
spits it
Asperger's."
out. Yeah.
And I said, "Well,
there you go.
That makes sense. having known him all these years, it now fits, right?
Now it goes together.
But he said it on my podcast, and I said, Corey, he didn't look at it as being courageous. I said, Corey, you probably don't know what you've done just by being authentic. I said, because we know from all these events we go to how many sweet autistic folks we meet.
Absolutely.
And their parents. And often we meet parents who through tears will bring us their adult autistic children and say, Jim Cummings, but for my son was nonverbal till he was 7. Then he heard you doing blah, blah, blah. He's always going to need help, but we brought him to meet you. Those parents go to bed at night going, we don't have a trust fund. What's going to happen when my 35-year-old son, who knows everything that Jim Cummings has ever done but can't buy a Slurpee on his own? What's going to happen? But at those events, no one looks sideways at him.
No.
Utterly included.
They're fans. They're enjoying
Isn't that
it,
great?
and they are genuine. And they know more about my career than I do.
And their parents go, we can bring him or her here, and for 2 hours, ain't nobody going to mess with him. But when Corey did that on my podcast, I said, Corey, someone is going to hear you speaking about your incredible success, that you have your own home, you drive your own Tesla, you do your thing. I know it doesn't sound like it to you. Sure enough.
But that's beautiful.
I was doing a con in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and a woman brought her daughter, who was 18 years old, who heard Corey, and she was autistic as well. Her mother heard it, played it for her. She went to an art college, and now she's working for Warner Brothers in Vancouver.
Really?
As an animator.
Really?
Because Corey Burton said, oh, I'm autistic. Isn't that something?
Wow. That's amazing.
It's just the greatest thing that we have this bully pulpit from which we can say, oh, let me tell you about my friend Corey. You can do this. Isn't that great?
It's totally
Billy West
amazing.
did the same thing on our very first episode. Billy admitted that he was also on the spectrum.
Is that
Really
right?
did. He said that because that's why I wear Crocs, because I can't tie my own shoes.
How about that?
Yeah, and I put that clip on our podcast YouTube channel, and you wouldn't believe the hundreds of comments of people going, "Oh my God, I'm autistic too. I didn't realize."
It's so important. It is so important.
It changed those people's lives by saying, "Oh yeah," and well, if you did it, maybe I.
Wait a minute. Yeah, maybe I can.
I mean, with the advent of social media and the way we can connect with people like that, Jesus Christ, if we're not here to help one another, what's the point? Because we really can make a difference.
Well,
and you guys do it all the time.
I always tell the story about, I was fortunate enough in Florida to meet Muhammad Ali. And the first thing he asked me,
that'd be like meeting the Beatles.
Yeah, it was like that. And I'm happy to meet you and everything. And he says,
you got a hand like a meat hook.
He says, the first thing he said was, do you ever talk to kids in hospitals? That was the first thing he said.
No kidding.
And I said, yeah, because you do famous phone friends, Make-A-Wish Foundation, stuff like that. And said, man, then you're my hero. He understood the power of that. And there was one thing with Wayne and Rusey. We did one call to a kid who had leukemia and was resisting treatment, wasn't really talking much. And so Wayne and Rusey get on and say, Pluto takes his medicine, he feels a lot better, and right, Pluto, and doing all that stuff. And then about 3 months later, we got a call, and because of that, because of talking to Mickey and Minnie and Pluto, that the kid went into remission. It's because of the willingness to take her medicine and just the mental, that more than anything else has solidified in my mind the power that these characters have. And you can't take it lightly. You cannot take it lightly. And I get reinforced with that every con I go to.
Every time.
Yeah.
And the first time I had that experience, it contextualized what a problem is.
Yeah.
It made me a better me a better parent.
It makes my problems a little less when you see people and how they're dealing with their problems. And then I'm going, I got a splinter.
Oh my God. And you meet, the kids are often, they can take a punch. The parents are a mess. If that were my child, I don't even know how I'd put my pants on So you come home and your kid spills chocolate ice cream on the white couch. Okay, that stain will be a precious memory.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
It's not your kid going, Daddy, I can't do this anymore. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And we all have healthy children.
Yeah.
I just, what a privilege we have. Anyway, you never know. There's a voice out there. Shut up.
I agree. No, well, I have. I'll give you the brief version of this. I think I might have said it before, but I had occasion years and years ago to meet up with a young man, and it was over the phone. And his dad had found me out through social media, such as it was back then. He called up my agent, Jeff Danis, and said, do you represent Jim Cummings? And he goes, yeah, I do. He goes, oh, okay. Is there any chance I can, I've got a kid at home and he's on the spectrum and somehow or another he's listened to the similarities in Jim's voice and looked at credits, I would think, from Disney Afternoon, and said, okay, by process of elimination, well, he was in that one. Oh, that must be him. And so, and he said, yeah, sure. So he asked me, would I take a phone call on Saturday? And I said, yeah.
Yeah.
So I did. And he gets on, I'll call him Timmy. And the first thing he goes, are you the Haviline motor oil guy? I said, yeah. And he goes, okay, how about Spackle or whatever it was? Yeah, that was me. He goes, damn, wow, he was right. Okay, anyway, here, Timmy. And I said, hey, Timmy, how are you? My name's Timmy. He goes, yes, of course it is. Now, I think that you should do the voice of Bonker Steve Bobcat, who was, of course, the very first Toon'd detective of Toontown Division. Well, sure, I'll do Bucket. Good. Now, I think that you should do the voice of Lucky Pical, who is, of course, his human counterpart, and he is a very well, how you doing? Good. I think now that you should do the voice of Dark Blink Duck, who's, and we did this for about 45 minutes straight.
God bless you.
45 minutes straight. Well, it gets even from humorous to poignant.
Yeah.
And I said, is your dad there?
Yeah, right.
Can I talk to your dad?
I'm really sorry, but
and he says, and he goes, oh wow, I had no idea that his mom wants to talk to you, and she gets and she can't stop bawling. She can't get a word out. She's a mess. And I said, no, don't worry about it.
You, pal.
I said, and I said, he's a little chatterbox. I mean, if I got to talk to somebody like Mel Blanc when I was his age,
my God,
you couldn't have shut me up. She goes, no, you don't understand. Jimmy. He doesn't speak.
Isn't that something?
And I went, this chatterbox?
Isn't that something?
Because we heard his voice when he was 3.
Oh my God.
And he stopped, and he was 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for 2/3 of his life.
Look what you did.
And I know the kid now.
Yeah, isn't that something?
He's an author. Yeah, I mean, he's like 40. Yeah, he's like, dude, hi. It's good to, and he's still himself, and it's just sweet as he could be. And I tell that story, and it's just...
Oh, it kills you.
You just got that push in the right direction.
You mentioned Mel Blanc. I tell people all the time, I'm starting to understand the power of joy, as we've talked about ad nauseum, but because years ago I was working on a Jetsons project, and Gordon Hunt said, hey, Robbie, Mel's here today.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Spacely.
Bringing his, with his little tank of air.
Yeah. Smoking in the parking lot with oxygen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to light a cigarette and you hear, boom! Right.
Yeah.
So he said, do you want to sit next to Mel? I said, yeah.
Maybe.
So I walked him. He was probably close to the end of his life.
Yeah.
And I said, Mr. Blank, like anyone with a pulse, I am such... Well, thank you. That's very kind of young man. And I thought, again, I'll never get this chance. Nobody else in there. Mm-hmm. I said, if it's not too much trouble... He knew exactly what I wanted. Takes off his glasses. He looks at me. He says, yeah, what's up, Doc? And I thought I needed a Caesar salad.
Yeah.
I did this.
Yeah, I just... Sure.
I mean, I almost got tearful myself. It was like, oh, my God. So now, while none of us would compare ourselves to Mr. Blank, we fully get.
Yeah.
If somebody comes up and says, and I say, hello, nurse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman starts to, I get it.
Yeah.
And you hear over and over again, I'm sorry, I'm not sure why I know exactly why you're doing
I know why. Yeah.
Because your sweet little brain, when you were watching this and all, it's as powerful as your mother's perfume, your grandmother's cooking, and it stays with you forever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And man, when you're hit with that, it's just like a bolt. Mm-hmm. I was 35 And he said, "Yeah, what's up, Doc?" And I thought I was going to have a seizure.
Yeah, yeah. Why
It was
not?
amazing.
Yeah, what a beautiful thing, right?
God, and look
Yeah.
how lucky,
fun.
what a
Oh,
privilege
yeah.
to be able to do this.
I only met him once, and I got him to sign his autobiography to
Oh,
me and Goofy.
that's not
so
it. That's not all, folks. Right?
exactly, exactly. But I mean, just that 15, 20 seconds of meeting him, you know, it stays with you. Those things just don't go away.
Sure.
Yeah.
They are there.
I
They
never
are-
got to meet him, but a friend of mine back when I was in the Video Depot, and I just made my first demo tape. Oh, I was so proud. And I handed it to him, and he was a Vietnam vet, God rest his soul. And he had a talent agency. He would book clown acts and balloon, you know, magic guys and tumblers and this and that. And I guess Mel had a office down the hall from him, and so saw him walking down the hall, and he goes, Mel, can you come here for a second?
What?
And he says, yeah, what are you doing, kid? He goes, here, this is a buddy of mine. He made this tape. It's
He gave
a
it to
demo
Mel?
tape. He played it for him. He didn't give it to him.
Oh my God!
But he plays it for him.
And you
he
were
said,
there?
No, I
Oh,
wasn't.
Jimmy, I'd have-
Regretfully. And he says he said, yeah, sure, go ahead, play it. And so he plays it, and he says he looked back and he goes,
Oh my God!
and he started smiling, and it was over like a minute and a half later, and he goes, tell the kid he's got it.
Oh man!
And I said,
That's like
I
being
got
blessed
it.
by the Pope.
I
Sorry.
goosebumped. I
Yeah,
got
that is.
goosebumps.
Oh,
that
Jimmy,
is.
of
That
course you
is
do.
goosebumps.
You know, and I thought, he said that?
Oh my
Yeah?
God! Isn't
What,
that-
did he? What else? He left, huh? Shit. All right. Well,
You know,
couldn't
Bob
wait.
Bergen.
He ran away.
You ever heard the Bob Bergen story about Mel? Bob Bergen comes here from St. Louis. He's Porky Pig. And he looks up in the L.A. phone book, Melvin
yes.
Blank in Brentwood. Called him up, and Mrs. Blank answered, hello, is this Mel Blank?
Oh, my God.
Well, yes, it is. Is Mr. Blank around? I mean, he was just this precocious youngster.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
So he said, yeah, hang on a second. Mel, hello. And he says, Mr. Blank, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah voice. So he talks to Mel Blanc for half an hour, and Mel says, hey, I'm doing a session, blah, blah, blah. What if you want to meet me at the studio, you can come in.
Wow.
Really? Okay.
He just found him in the phone book.
Jeez.
Isn't that something?
Wow.
I don't know.
What's a phone book?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to explain that with a
my
little
God.
disclaimer
Oh,
under
my
the
gosh.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
phone book.
Yeah, we got all these freaking stories now. Oh, my God.
Now, someday I'll get to tell people I know you.
I knew you.
Hopefully
Rob's taking a
a
big
long
dirt
time.
nap now.
Oh,
He's at that big old session in the sky.
Yeah.
But man, we had a good time until he punched his ticket.
Yeah.
Thank God. There's a lot quieter now since Rob's gone. He hasn't shut up. Tress McNeil used to say to me, she was on the other side of the glass when I was working, and she got in later. She'd say, Mr. Paulsen, yeah. Do you recall that talent you had when we hired you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you use it on this next take? Thank you. I've known her since she was
That's
a
why we love
cocktail
her.
waitress
That's
in
yeah.
Marina Del Rey.
Uh-huh.
And now she is the most prolific female voice talent in the history of Hollywood.
Yeah. Right. My goal is to be the male Tress McNeil.
Jesus, right?
Right.
And how many times you've worked with her and
Sure.
she does something and you go, I'd never,
Well,
where did
that's
that
new.
come from?
Yeah, where's that
She's
come from?
amazing.
Yeah.
She is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, geez, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
well,
lowering your standards for me.
I'm telling you.
I saw Chris when I walked in, he kind of went, and that's all it took.
Yeah. So you knew you were in the right place.
Yeah. Oh, this must be the right place because
Oh, God.
he's just going like this. Oh, man, what a pleasure to be with you.
Yeah, well,
guys.
thank you. Thank you both.
you, pal.
Right.
My pleasure.
Always. Thank you,
My
Billy.
pleasure.
Pass one down to him,
my,
would you?
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Should we play some voice swap, Chris, before we wrap up?
Oh,
Oh,
What
here
are we
we go.
Yeah, we'll do a voice swap. So Jim will say a line as Winnie the Pooh, and then
Okay.
you'll say the same line in one of your characters,
Great.
and then
Okay.
Bill, same thing. We'll just go down the line.
There we go.
Great.
Are you
Okay.
ready?
Fire
World
away.
Close
voice-
the game.
Voice swap. Here we go.
Okay.
I am the terror that flaps in the night.
Okay. I am the terror that flaps in the night.
I am the terror that flaps in the night.
Damn. It's like I was in the room.
That's pretty good.
All right. How about should we go backwards in
Yeah,
this?
go ahead, you do
in
it.
reverse.
Gosh, Sora, it's the Heartless.
The Wholess?
Sora?
Sora.
Oh,
That's
okay.
from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
Heartless?
I'm in that too.
The Heartless. It's the Heartless.
I play the Grand Duke.
Oh, I didn't know
There
that.
is no ambiguity about my sexual preference. Woo-hoo. Yeah. Go ahead, do it again, Goofy.
Gosh, Sora, it's the Heartless.
Hey, God, Sora, it's the Heartless. Nerf.
Oh, bother. Sora, it's that stinking Heartless again.
Who doesn't say stinking? That wasn't nice. Okay. Oh, yeah, you're up.
All right. Let's see. How about this? United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru.
United States, Canada, and then something that rhymes with Peru.
Okay, you're one more time.
One more time.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru.
United States, Panama, Peru.
Great.
Yeah, yes.
That's why he's goofy.
That's right.
Hey, I'm a talking dog. I ain't no.
Gosh.
I ain't an
And now
MIT
Pluto.
grad.
Row.
Yeah. Pluto taking us home.
Oh my God.
Well, we need to hear Goof. There's one more. Goofy and Winnie quoting Raphael. We need to hear that one.
Okay. Goofy
yeah.
and Winnie quoting Raphael. All right, so this is Raphael. How about this? Shredder, you tin-faced geek, get back here and taste cold turtle steel.
Shredder, you tin-faced geek, get back here and taste with steel.
Yeah.
Shredder, you tin-faced geek. You're going to taste some steel. Whoa.
Hold on. I was Shredder
That's
too.
right.
I was Shredder. I was
Jimmy,
the last Shredder.
That's right. You after James Avery left
Yeah,
to do
James
Fresh
God
Prince.
I wasn't,
Yes,
but
you
I'll talk low.
Yeah, that's great. We got. Oh my God, there's a whole lot of cross-pollinating going
Yeah.
on here.
Oh. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody out there in Toon'd Land.
That's
Thanks,
right.
Chris. Thanks, Brendan. What a pleasure.
That was
Chris,
so much
want
fun.
to take us home? Are we done? I think we're done. That's it, folks. I hope
right.
we were fabulous.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
All right, thank you everybody for watching. That was another episode of Tuned In with Jim Cummings, Rob Paulsen, and Bill Farmer joined us today. Thank you so much once
Pleasure.
again.
Our pleasure.
That was
Our
great.
pleasure.
Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can find our podcast wherever you find your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yee.
Man, what a blast.
Yeah, that was fun.